Namaskar and very warm welcome to all our viewers and learner in this live phone-in session of CIET NCERT. I'm Renu Bhatt and you are watching us live on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. And dear learners, this is time for a SAHYOG session, and as you all know, in this special session we bring some mental health and psychosocial support for all the students. So the topic that we are going to discuss today in this specific session is quite interesting, that is self-help is the best help. So you must be thinking what that self-help means and how it could be your best help. For more details, we have a couple of our experts with us. Let's meet them. You are Ms. Momita Som. You are Assistant Professor from Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you and very good afternoon to all the viewers.
And let's meet our another expert. You are Ms. Smarnika Patnaik. You are practicing counselor. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Renuji, and namaste, everyone.
Namaste, ma'am. And dear learners, if you have any query or you want some help or you have any question, feel free to connect to us. You can call us on our toll-free number, our telephone number, that is 8800-440-559. Either you can mail us at our email address, that is sahyog.ncert@ciet.nic.in. And as you are in our YouTube channel and on our live streaming, go to the live chat box and drop your comment out there. Our expert will be happy to answer all your queries and questions. If you want to share your experience, feel free to connect to us. So ma'am, let's begin this session with you, Smarnika ma'am. And my first question to you is that what's your view on self-help, ma'am? Is the best help? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good evening everyone once again. Dear parents, teachers, students and viewers, here we are going to deliberate on this common proverb, self-help is the best help. As we know, it's a very old proverb, and we also find that it has got a lot of reference in our holy scripture. Let us quote a Sanskrit verse, that is, Udyamena hi siddhyanti karyani na manorathe na hi suptasya singhasya pravisanti mukhe mruga. It means the lion is a mighty animal. It is the king of the jungle. But once it sleeps and thinks about the deer to come into its mouth, it will never happen. The deer does not enter into the mouth of a sleeping lion. The lion has to rather wake up and make the effort to bring the food onto its mouth. That is why we say self-help is the best help. Yes, self-help means to be able to be self-reliant. It says that to do the work yourself, and it is a very powerful word. It can be told in this way, that I will do what I can do. Because when I employ others to do the work for me, it is their work that they have done for me. I haven't done it. And the spirit of self-help builds a lot of confidence. People become self-confident. It boosts their morale that yes, I have done it and I can do it. Self-help makes us independent, and we will be able to help others as a moral and social responsibility towards people and towards the society. Self-improvement will be there. That requires that self-improvement is essential, and it leads to a life of self-fulfillment, encourages personal growth, restores the faith in one's own self, thereby again boosting the self-confidence of a person. So how can we rely on others when the work is ours? Thereby, when we indulge in self-help, it also enhances our self-image as well as our self-esteem. So the person, the focus is the individual. Helping the own self is self-help. And when we want to help our own self, it helps us to build our strong willpower and determination. It makes us a fulfilling life, and it makes us an independent person who is dependent on the self. It brings lot of happiness and restores confidence in one's own ability, capability, and worth.
Right, ma'am, very well said. One's help is self-help, if we talk about self-help, that we can see in the picture also, that means self-confidence, that means self-care, self-improvement. That is very much important in today's era and all the students. Ma'am, Miss Momita, now I would like to ask you, what is the relevance of self-help in one's day-to-day life, ma'am?
Good afternoon, all of you, once again. If we begin with what is the relevance with day-to-day life, I would like to first share it how it is relevant in the current scenario at least. As we know, we are facing a very crucial pandemic situation, and the safety of our own self is on our own hands, literally, isn't it? Like washing our hands, putting on masks. And when we want to be safe from the infection, we have to help ourselves. Then only we can help our near and dear ones. Similarly is the case with our students, as we can see in our academic section as well. They are facing a lot of restrictions, like the human resources, the reaching out to teachers, the library resources. They are all restricted due to this COVID situation. Here again, the students has to help themselves, like they have to resort to self-study, researching, searching alternative sources. These all are related to self-help only. And the main thing, another one thing I want to relate, that due to this restriction, due to this COVID, we are very much limited in our interpersonal socialization. Our lifestyle has changed drastically. Not only the adults, the children, and more so the teenagers are facing this problem situation. And in this situation, the rising crisis of suicide, depression, this has also increased. In this situation, we ourselves has to motivate ourselves to take forward our day-to-day activities. Because every time reaching out to others is not possible. Everybody is busy with their busy schedules and their stress. So it is we ourselves have to help ourselves to get ourselves intrinsic motivation. Rather than extrinsic motivation, we have to rely on intrinsic motivation to carry forward our day-to-day lifestyle, our thinking process, everything. So self-help is the only resort we have in our hand in the current scenario. And talking about our day-to-day life, about the COVID situation, self-help helps us to develop confidence in ourselves, self-belief. As Madam has already said, I would like to quote or give an example of Wright brothers. When they started, nobody believed them that human being will be flying in the sky, but they helped themselves. And today for them, we are in the sky, isn't it? And I'd like to quote some other examples also. Self-help helps us to keep our head high, believe in our own ethics. Like if I quote something or give an example, suppose you are an authority, you are a head, and for non-official works, you rely on your staff, on your clerks for non-official work. Suddenly, suppose they are not, they clash with your morality, they are not punctual, but you will not be able to hold them accountable because you have to rely on them. There, your ethics, your morality is at stake. So self-help, if you are helping yourself out, you can keep your morality at your own hands. Self-help also help us to take the responsibilities. We can come forward. We not only in if I relate it to students' life, not only in academic section, but also taking up leadership, because students are in growing stage. Leadership is a very good platform to carry forward their career as well. This self-help, when they are confident enough to help themselves out, they can take up leadership. They can help themselves in taking up of responsibilities. And also I'd like to quote about or give an example of people who have many kind of resources. Like if we think of rich people, they have many resources, they have money, but they fall short of accomplishing small tasks because they have to rely on someone others. Whereas even if you have resource, but if you are self-reliant, self-dependent, then you can complete your own task. You don't have to rely on someone else to complete your task. Self-help is always, even it is a very ancient proverb, it is applicable to current scenario, to our day-to-day life as well. Every time we can see that.
So is that mean being independent is also, we can say, is self-help?
Exactly. Being independent, being self-reliant is also a self-help. We don't have to depend on others.
Right. We don't need anyone else to help us in tough situations, right? We are our best friend.
Yes.
Okay, so Smarnika ma'am, and now I would like to ask you that does self-help also promote mental well-being?
Yes, very rightly put forth. Self-help does promote mental well-being. Mental well-being is to take care of the mental health, and mental health is essential for our overall well-being. Whatever is possible on the physical, mental and spiritual way to maintain the balance of health of the individual refers to the well-being. It is the harmony between need, demand, desire and aspiration of the self. So whatever we can do to promote the self, work towards bringing or restoring the mental wellness of an individual. So when we talk about self-help and how it promotes, it will help us to know that there are so many ways in which we can help ourselves to promote the mental well-being. The way physical health is taken care of, in when we have an injury, we do first aid for the physical well-being. But similarly, when we have any kind of distress or if we suffer from anxiety or depression, we do nothing. But self-help is a kind of bringing the sense of accomplishment in us. If we are able to accomplish something well, we feel that all okay. I am okay. My world is okay. Similarly, when I'm not able to accomplish something, it is curbed or due to some obstacle, I am not able to accomplish a piece of task, then that brings depression, anxiety, and stress of many kinds. Thus, when we are setting out to help ourselves, we are restoring the faith in us. We are working towards our mental health as well. And one of the best strategy that can be used to promote self-help is to indulge in self-care routine. When we care for ourselves on a physical, mental and spiritual domain, then the self-help is done and the mental health is also looked after. So these are some of the dimensions or the domains in which self-help can be catered to, and we can care for ourselves. Caring for the self is the first step to work towards self-help. In emotional domain, in environmental domain, in financial way, intellectual self-care, occupational self-care, physical self-care, social self-care and spiritual self-care. And it is interesting to know that it costs nothing. We can do it on our own. We can do in the secure and safe atmosphere of our home. If we look at the present COVID-19 pandemic, we don't have to set out to take care of our well-being. So environmentally, if we see, yes, we can take a walk, we can plant a tree, we can reduce waste, we can use recyclable sources of energy and look after our family in the immediate environment, and that is self-care. Emotionally, we can read a book, we can connect with our friends, we can talk to our family members, and so much can be done to take care of the emotional being of an individual. Financially, we need to work out a very practical plan. We can start to save. We can think, how can the corners be cut? We can avoid use of credit card and do something that will take care of our expenditure. Intellectually, we can tap the artistic and the potentials, the creative way. We can write a poem. Intellectually, we can also read a lot. We can listen to the podcast, we can watch the documentaries and think that how and what suits our mood. Occupational domain includes that we can try for a new skill, learn a new skill, open up a new business, try or apply for a dream project, do a new job or polish your resume, do something that will upgrade our occupational label and look after that arena. Physically, as we know, we can do workout, Zumba classes or aerobics that suits our potential, that we feel interesting. We can jog, we can cycle, or we can just take a walk around the campus in the lawn, or we can do some physical exercises like yoga or meditation, and that also is possible without any cost, and we can do within the confinement of our four walls or in the house. When we talk about the social self-care, yes, we can again relate and connect with our friends, with our family members. We can exude positivity. We need to understand that for this we have to maintain a balanced food as well as a regular sleep pattern. Then we are able to also talk with people, enjoy a good laugh, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the night sky, the gentle wind. So much is there around us. And spiritually, yes, we can listen to somebody who can motivate us. We can listen to the talk or think, or just listen to a pleasant music on a very soft note that will enhance and boost our spiritual well-being. In addition to all this, we can also be a little bit proactive, and we can indulge in self-help therapies. As we know, the cognitive behavior therapy, which helps a person without the aid, without the support, without the help of somebody else, and we can indulge in that. And clinically it has been proven that the cognitive behavior therapy or the self-help therapies boosts energy, brings happiness, reduces frustration and anger, also reduces anxiety, and the symptoms of depression or stress is minimized. Thus a lot can be done, and it is all rooted in self-help. When we set out to help ourselves, actually we are aiming towards self-actualization. We are trying to bring a unified and harmonious way of looking at ourselves as a person. And when that is done, we can also help others. We can be the pathfinder to many. Truly speaking, life is dynamic, and our way of looking at wellness is also changing every day. We need to adapt and accept all the healthy ways of behavior, conduct, code, and self-help goes a long way in restoring the faith in us.
Exactly, ma'am. It's quite interesting to know about the 8 dimensions of self-care. I'm just curious to know about the fact that, Momita ma'am, from you, can we inculcate self-help in our children? If
Yes,
it
very
does,
well.
then how we can inculcate that?
Very well, very well. It is very good question. Thank you, Renu. Actually, we can really inculcate the self-help, self-help concept in the people. What we think is, as you can see the slide, in the middle of it, it is formation of habit. What I mean to say is, what we do when we are in a really crisis, we resort to self-help. But self-help indeed, does it help when only we are in crisis? Suppose I don't have that confidence in me to help myself in all the situations, then will I have confidence to resort to self-help in the time of crisis? I will not
Exactly.
have that confidence. I will not have the confidence and the self-belief in myself that, oh, I can help myself and bring myself out from that situation. So self-help, basically, in order to inculcate self-help, it has to be a habit. It has to be a continuous process and inculcated from a very young age. I can say like small things. Parents can teach their children to at least pack their bags, their own bags, arrange their own books. This is the small tips which parents can inculcate in students from the young age. When when it becomes a habit formation, only then one will be confident enough in a real time of crisis to depend on oneself, to be self-reliant. Unless and until we make it a continuous process, we will not have that confidence. First of all that. Apart from that, if we talk about other tips, Like suppose I can speak about this current COVID situation. When we are in a lockdown, many a times what we do is we rush to complete our impending works. Not only our adults, we also pressurize our children, thrust them into academic work. What I mean to say is we should always pause, do work which gives us happiness. That is also a self-help. Not only doing our impending work, but rather than resorting to what gives us inner peace, happiness. These things can be doing small hobbies, extracurricular activities, also taking up mental exercises which don't have to be related to our academics only, like solving Sudoku, playing chess, solving puzzles. These are all mental exercises but not directly related to our academic aspect, right? So this also help us to build ourselves. Then again, looking into ourselves, introspection and self-reflection. Reflecting on ourselves, like what I am able to achieve, what I will be able to achieve if I do it myself. Do I need someone's help to achieve something? Can I, even if someone is helping me, if I don't have that help, can I help myself out? This kind of self-reflection and introspection also help us to inculcate this habit of self-help. And also building interpersonal and interpersonal relationship. We all know about interpersonal relationship, right? Building relationship with our parents, sibling, our neighborhood. We always do that. But when we speak about intrapersonal relationship with ourselves, thinking about our own thoughts, thinking about our strength, thinking about what we can do, what we cannot. These are the things we also need to focus on, which will help us to inculcate this self-help, isn't it? So these are the certain kind of tips. Apart from that, the main thing which I said, again I want to repeat, that formation of habit. Even if you are resorting to those tips, but it has to be a habit formation. Only then you will have the confidence to resort to depending on self in the time of crisis.
Exactly, ma'am, very well said, and has the point that self-help has to be a habit. It will not like that happen in overnight. Smarnita ma'am, at this very moment, I just want to ask you about the role of the school in inculcating the self-help amongst children, ma'am.
Yes, truly spoken. The school plays a vital role in inculcating self-help among students. Because school is regarded as an agent of socialization, it is regarded as the second home as well. And the curriculum, the activities, the assignments in the school are so designed that it will somehow bring and build self-help in children.
Ma'am, I'm interrupting you in between. Let me tell you that we have only 3 more minutes left for this session.
Okay, so first of all, in order to prevent procrastination, children are given a deadline with every activity, with every assignment, and the task is designed within the framework of the timeline. So that helps them to learn time management. School identifies the potential, helps the children to participate in their own learning. Learning by doing is being propagated and it is integrated in the curriculum. As a result, they are practicing their own learning. They are participating in their own learning. Teacher is mere a facilitator. So journaling exercises are also a part of the curriculum where children are using mind mapping to write a letter, to write an essay, self-discovery statements, and they do a lot in the field as well as in the classroom, which helps them to do the task themselves. Then one of the most important stakeholder of every school is parenting, and school does its role in supporting parents. We also come forward with positive parenting styles where parents are also given the important tips and emphasis is given how at home they can allow the children to be independent, to do their work on their own, and to develop the spirit of independence. Once this is developed, in the long term, after school education is also completed, the children can reap a long-term benefit and the rewards in the way of leading a self-fulfilling life. Life is precious. So we need to give all these important inputs in the formative years of our children so that our future citizen can really be responsible. They can have a self-fulfilling and self-dependent life, and they will learn to be self-reliant. Yes, truly speaking, self-help is the best help that one can offer to one's own self.
Exactly, dear learners. As ma'am said, it is the best help you can give it to yourself. If you have love in your heart, only then you can spread love. If you have confidence, only then you can show your confidence. So, ma'am, we are running very short of time right now. We cannot exceed the session. Thank you so very much for being with us. Thank you, Momita ma'am, and thank you, Smarnita ma'am.
Thank
you so much.
And thank you so much for your detailed information on self-help is the best help. It was really indeed a very informative program. And thank you viewers for being with us throughout this session. It's time for me to wrap up this session. But thank you so very much for being with us. And let me wrap up this session. Me, Renu Bhatt, along with my whole team is taking your leave. Namaskar.